So let's say someone had asthma, some conditions of respiratory systems, they would go to the doctor, doctor, please help. And the doctor would say, 3 weeks in Szczawnica will help you. Boom, stamp, and a prescription to go for 3 weeks to Szczawnica, to the health resort, and hopefully feel better. Hello everyone, we are already 20 seconds into the tour, so maybe let me show you, let me introduce myself because I keep saying hello. I know some people I think are joining me here for the first time, so maybe I can introduce myself. My name is Zuzanna. I am a state licensed guide in Krakow, Poland, but right now I am over almost 2 hours away from Krakow, 2 hours south. And I am in fact in a town which is on the Polish-Slovakian border. The town is called Szczawnica, Zdrój. This is a perfect beginning maybe to learn some Polish language. Szczawnica. Szczawnica is the name of this town. And the town is a health resort. It is located in a beautiful surrounding with a national park which is called Pieniny National Park. This is a national park that we share with Slovakia. In fact, if you look at the kind of the mountain that you can see the furthest, this is already in Slovakia. It would take us on a bike maybe 20 minutes. And we would be in Slovakia if there was only signal. I have done a lot of signal testing around here, and I am really sorry that here this is the most beautiful place where there is still signal. If I wanted to take you even further down the river. Oh, dzień dobry, Patricia. Dzień dobry. Hello, Shin. Nice to see you again. Hello, Karen. Hello. So I wanted to take you a little bit further down, but there was no signal over there. So this is it. But I think you can still see already the beautiful surrounding with the mountains and the river. The river is called, here the river is still called Grajcarek, but a little further from here it flows down into another river called Dunajec. And Dunajec is the river in Poland which is associated with Polish mountains, our Highlanders, which is quite a distinctive culture. They all boast that they were raised on the bank of the Dunajec River. And thank you, Lynette, for following me already. But I will ask you here all to follow me down, on a very interesting journey, because we are going to take a bike. Actually, I have a bike here for us. This is our bike. And for the first part of the tour, this will be our means of transportation. There are quite big distances around here, and I really wanted to show you some of the nature as much as the cultural heritage here. So this is the last moment for this view, and we will be taking the bike and driving away from here, closer to the heart of the town. But this is very important for us to realize that we are on the bank of two mountain rivers, in fact, surrounded by these beautiful mountains. And this is a space where in 1800s natural water springs were discovered. And in 1800s, this was the land around here was still private. It belonged to an aristocratic family whose name were Szalai. And they built a privately owned health resort here next to these mountains and next to these the rivers. I haven't had the water yet, but I already feel better after spending some time here and looking at this beautiful view. But when it comes to the water, maybe we can do it like this. I want to tell you that really in Poland, natural mineral water is very, very popular. Here I have a bottle of water. It's called piwniczanka. This is the water I grew up with. In my family home, no one drank anything really else except for this. Maybe tea, coffee, and the mineral water. I will maybe turn the camera again, and just to kind of introduce you to mineral waters, I can show you that it has the oh, you can see it is bubbly. Now maybe you will hear, oh, I don't know if you could hear this or not, but it has gas in it, but it's not carbonated in a factory or somewhere. This is natural mineral water. Maybe I can have a sip, by the way. Natural mineral water, which has this kind of a special taste to it. So we will be talking about the mineral waters as we go, but now let us do the crazy thing and get on the bike with this whole equipment. I have to live up to my colleagues. I know Adam in Hungary is taking you on all kind of bike routes. I know, of course, clearly Stefan in Netherlands is doing it. I will do as well. Yes, I can show the bottle and then we will be on the way. Just a second. Oops. The bottle. Thank you, Alan. Yes, I am. Oh, this is on. Although it's a bit of a maybe wrong. It is a bit wrong because the piwniczanka, it comes from a different health resort. It's not this. Here we are in Szczawnica. They don't sell commercial water in bottles. This you can buy all over, maybe not all over Poland, but all over this region. You can buy this in every single shop. It's not only here in this health resort. It's everywhere around. And really, like I say, Polish people, we don't buy bottled tap water. We are used to drinking. Oh, this lady is drinking the same water. I don't know if you saw it or not, but this is what we are educated, let's say, to drink. It has some kind of like a mineral taste to it, and it has natural gas in it, and we are on the way to talk about the waters. Maybe we will even find a natural spring. Wait, I practice with the bike. I have to have you in my left hand. You people really inspire me to do crazy stuff. Yes, I prefer to blame it on you. Here we go. We couldn't go on the chairlift. Maybe this is something you would like to ask, because up there is no signal. Here there is a hotel where you can rent a room right at the foot of the hill. And here is also where we will be leaving the bike. You can see the chairlift here. It goes to this very hill. Only here, the top is where you can see the top. The hill is Palenica. It's a very small hill. It's also possible to kind of climb up there. There is a small restaurant up there, and it is also possible to go hiking into like higher mountains from there. You know what I will do? I will ask the guy, because I rented the bike here. I'll just ask him if I can just leave it here. Okay, super. Thank you. Dziękuję. Okay, people. So, here we made it. My first Hey Go bike ride. There is a rollerblade crazy lady. Look at her. 2 children in this green thing. Can you believe this? Wow. Oh my God. She is just amazing. Wow, I cannot believe she is going up. I think she's a local. Definitely, she must be a local from here. People who come here on holidays, they sometimes they have a trouble even climbing this hill, not to mention climbing it on rollerblades with 2 children in this cart. Can't believe this, but okay. Let's focus on other things that we came to see here. And we came to talk about wooden architecture and about natural mineral waters. So this is the essence right now is in front of you. What you're looking at is a building from the late 1800s, an original wooden building. And inside there used to be a fountain of natural water. It is called Zdrój Szymona, which means Simon's fountain. So when it comes to the mineral waters, the mineral water is treated in such a way that it is generally mostly the rainwater that drips down through different layers of soil, different types of rocks. And sometimes if the earth inside is rich in different types of rocks, the water adapts different minerals like calcium, sodium, magnesium, iron, and the water is of course filtered through different layers of the earth, and then it adapts, it dissolves the different types of minerals that it goes through, and the minerals are in the water. So here, really from prehistoric times, there were mineral fountains around here, but it was in 1800s when the owners of this space decided to make money on the mineral water, and they decided to start a health resort. 1800s, all around Europe, this was a big time for health resorts, for people, and first of all for science, to prove to us that we need the minerals and that the mineral water is good to us. And then the scientists would prove that this mineral and that can kind of treat this or that illness. And then this whole culture started, which is huge in Poland, huge, that people would go for holidays in an area where there are mineral waters, beautiful landscape, fresh air, mountain air. Really, the moment here, when I got here today in the morning, when I left the car, I could just feel, even though I came from my husband's village, which was still a village, nice, let's say nice air, but still I could feel this different type of air here. So since 1800s up until today, people have been coming here to treat mostly illnesses of respiratory systems, rheumatism, and other types of illnesses are treated here. But we have health resorts all around Poland. Here is a map of Polish health resorts. So you will see most of them are in the mountains, but not only, also a lot by the sea, and still up until today, many people go to these places sometimes, very rarely, they pay for it. Most often, the Polish state pays for it. But here I wanted to show you something really cool. This is the old building where the pump used to be and where people would take the mineral water from. This is just one of mineral waters. Here they have 6 fountains in this whole town. The fountain used to be there. Now it is here. Please take a look. This is one of 3 fountains of natural mineral water in this town, which just flows, and it's free for people to just take. I could come here. This is what my in-laws do. They go to a different place, but they collect like plastic bottles, and they then once a few months they go, and really it's legal for me to kind of take huge bottles and fill them in as much as I want. No one cares. This is a free, natural, mineral, healthy water for us to drink. So a quick quiz for you. What mineral does this water have a lot of? What mineral does this water have a lot of? What do you think? Oh, here you can see the gentleman came and he's filling up his bottle. Iron, yes, exactly. What a clever group of people today. Yes, iron. So here you can see what I was talking with all these minerals. Really, you can see the iron just kind of sticking here to the stone. I suppose I should try a little bit as well. Oh my God, I can smell the iron already from here. See, oh, can you see this? Yes. Can you see the iron actually flowing in the cup? Yes, wow. My friend who lives here said that this is the worst tasting water they have in whole town, but it is on our way. So this is the one I'm going to try. Yes, well, that's similar to what my in-laws bring home. This is very irony, which in Polish we say it kind of tastes like scrambled eggs. Wow, but it's very nicely cold, not very carbonated though, not a lot of gas in it. So in the UK you also have the mineral waters, which are not tasty. So here most of them are also not tasty, but sometimes they don't have much taste. It's just the gas and the pretty plain taste, and this is nice. All right, so this fountain that we just used, it used to be here inside this nice building, and now we are climbing up to the town where we will see a lot more beautiful old buildings, and we can talk about the health resort and how people come here. It's going to be beautiful. So Karen, yes, the state pays for thousands of people to come to the resort, and if you come, you can buy a ceramic kind of cup like this. But here the problem is that all of them say mulled wine and beer. What the hell? What kind of a health resort is this? Oh, here you can see some nicely styled like a street food place. Typical Highlander designs, more like in Zakopane, where I will be taking you at some point. Nice dress and sweatshirt with this design, which is called Parzenica. This is typical Highlander style. Maybe not so much from here as much as from the Tatra mountains, the higher mountains that we have. So yes, you can see here it's quite commercial. This, I suppose, for like a maybe Jamaican health resort. And already here we can see a building. This is a modern building with the old styled woodwork, and this is the type of woodwork which is typical. Not even in Zakopane, in the Tatra mountains, you will not see this. This is very typical of health resorts around around here. So also here, again, modern building, probably built maybe in the 1960s, I would say, something like that. And just to keep up the style, they also added the wooden balconies, which you will see everywhere around here. So over there is the chairlift. So you can see the chairlift is just a few steps away from the center of the town where we are, but we are only getting to the most beautiful part. Here, this, on the other hand, this is an old building, old villa, Villa Trimida. It is from early 20th century. Unfortunately, even though there is some restaurant over there, unfortunately, it is also not in the best shape. Maybe let's have a look like this. I can also bring you a little bit closer. Little German weather predictor houses. Wow, interesting. I have never seen a little German weather predictor house. Okay, interesting. Generally, in Germany, they also used to have a lot of health resorts in Austria, in Switzerland. So this style would be this similar in even in Switzerland, for example. What they will not have in Switzerland is this amazing style of this building that you are looking at right now. This is only in post-communistic countries where you will find this. So maybe in Hungarian, definitely in Hungarian health resorts, a lot of Hungary looks like this. So let's focus on something more beautiful, which is ahead of us. One of the most elaborate villas around here. And that's an original villa. Well, maybe reconstructed a little bit, but generally original from late 1800s. And why we know this is Poland and this is not Austria and this is not Switzerland for sure. If I just show you this image, you can know 100% this will never be Austria or Switzerland, because over there they do not allow for these stupid colorful banners to be everywhere around the town. Look, let's even go a little further here. Can you see the beautiful mountains? You cannot even see the mountains because you're looking at the banner of one restaurant, the other restaurant, one bus company, the other bus company, raft company, pharmacy. Of course, in the health resorts, people need pharmacy. So there's a pharmacy. There's all kinds of clothing outside here. So in Switzerland or Austria, you would see a similar building, but empty, with no banners whatsoever, and it makes a huge difference. Yes, here we are. Squirrel plants. The tulips are in a very bad shape. I'm not even going to show you the tulips. Squirrel plant. So I was calling this town before I came here with you to make sure if there would be flowers already here or not, and it looks like they planted most of it. So the squirrel construction is here throughout the whole year round, but in May they actually plant the flowers on the squirrel. And here and in other health resorts around this region, like Muszyna Zdrój, Piwniczna Zdrój, this is very typical of our health resorts to have these, like, this is, you can see, like a soil construction with some of the metal things to keep it together. And then every year they plant something new. Here we are. Beautiful. So cool squirrel and the banners. So typical Polish health resort. And we continue on to see some beautiful architecture and also to see where these people who actually come here for the health resort, where they stay. The birds are going to sing louder and louder. And here a really cool thing, very unusual, cool sign. Instead of a taxi rank, we have a horse carriage rank. Okay, so here is the Highlander. To jest, ma pan typowe szczawnickie te? Yes, so it's not like in Zakopane, it's typical floral design of the west of the Szczawnica. A ile kosztuje przejażdżka?
Po Szczawnicy 50 zł.
Po Szczawnicy 50 zł. Ile trwa?
Tu cały górny park się zwiedza, te stare zabytki, około pół godziny.
A, to pięknie. Mam nadzieję, jak będę kiedyś z prawdziwymi, że tak ich nazwę, turystami, to skorzystam. Super. Pół godziny, tak?
Tak.
Okej, fajnie. Dziękuję bardzo.
Proszę
Do widzenia.
bardzo.
Beautiful. I love this place. My grandmother was from here, but when I was born, well, my mom was already born in my hometown in a different place, but my grandma, my great-grandma, they were originally from here. And so when I was young, we usually used to come right here for a kind of, just for like a day trip out of town. I have a lot of sentiment for this place. And also I am in a great place to maybe stop and talk a little bit about the actual health resort and how it works right now, because here you can even see this lady walking up. This is my judgment, but I have great judgment. She is one of those patients that has come here to Szczawnica to treat some illness. And maybe I can slowly tell you how it works. Because, well, like I told you, generally in the old times, early 1800s, when the health resort was established, the health resort was privately owned by a family called Szalaj. Then they sold it to a different family called Stadnicki. Beata probably will know the family of Stadnicki, great big aristocratic family, very, very rich family. Then, only after Second World War, everything in Poland was nationalized. It didn't matter if a rich family owned something. Everything was taken over by the state and owned by the state. So the private, let's say like hotels, private water pumps, natural water pumps that were here, everything was taken over by the state. And the state also, of course, started organizing our healthcare system, retirement system. Everything in communism was run by the state. All the employers, all the companies were state companies. So the state took over and started organizing the health resorts in such a way that if there was anyone in Poland with some kind of chronic illness, like especially when we talk about Szczawnica, we mostly talk about the upper and the lower respiratory system. So let's say someone had asthma, some conditions of respiratory systems, they would go to the doctor doctor, please help. And the doctor would say, 3 weeks in Szczawnica will help you. Boom, stamp and a prescription to go for 3 weeks. Everything paid by the state to Szczawnica, to the health resort, and hopefully feel better. So there are health resorts. I showed you a map. It's up. I can maybe post it again. So there are health resorts all around Poland, still up until today, because our transition from communism to capitalism went really strangely. Still, the state owns most of these buildings around here, and still the doctors, employed by national healthcare system, they still send people around here for 3-week vacation, and they come here for 3 weeks. My mother is the biggest fan of health resorts you will find. And so how it works is she was a teacher. Even when she was still working, as a teacher, you get actually exposed to the chalk. You speak so much with your throat. Yes, Beata. Really, you should, because what my mom does is that you can go, I think, but the line to wait for the health resort nowadays, it lasts, Beata, I'm sorry, 2 years, at least 2 years. Maybe now even 3 years with the short COVID break. You cannot choose where. They send her to very random places all around Poland. You cannot also choose when you're going. This year, my mom was, last year, she was in the health resort last year. So she got a notice 1 week earlier. She said, she was waiting and waiting. She could follow online. She could follow, kind of like the number in line that she was in. So she was expecting. Whole family was kind of like, are you going to the health resort? When is it? When is it? She said, I'm already 200. I'm already 100. Probably next week. So then they sent her, next week, you're going here and there, pack up, and we pay for you for 3 weeks. You have to pay, I think, for food or something like that. But I was even kind of making sure before our tour to prepare, I was asking my mom. So for the last health resort stay, she paid altogether 500 Polish zloty. 500 Polish zloty, which is a little bit over 100 American dollars. For 3 weeks of vacation in a beautiful space, treatment, because this is it, real treatment. A few times a day, you have professional physiotherapists, doctors, nurses do different treatments to your body depending on what kind of illness you have. And that's how it works. The signal is not going to be the best, but I hope it's not going to be the worst. Please take a look for now at the picture that I posted, and in a second you will see this space. The building is here, and this is again the building of the fountain. So it's called Zdrój Magdalena. Magdalena is a women's name, like Maria Magdalena from the Bible. Yeah. So the way it was organized back in 1800s, this is an original building from 1800s, was that there was just like inside there was a fountain, like we saw at the beginning of our tour, and there was the roof so that people who came for the health resort, they could go inside, even if there was, even if it was raining, they could go inside and they could relax, sit down. They had their own cup, which they still sell, the ceramic cups around here. So they would pump the water and they would sit inside. There are still benches inside, and they could just kind of enjoy the slow pace of life and enjoy the sodium and calcium and all of that, treating their illness. This is a hotel where you can actually, wherever you're from, you can pay for a stay here at the hotel. Of course, then you can pay for a one-person room, and you can actually pay for these different, treatments to be done to you. So it is definitely also, there is also a way to do it in a commercial way. Yes. And here we have another former fountain building. This is my favorite one. It's so beautiful. The Valeria fountain. But it's also closed. Right now, you cannot take water from here because right now the state sells this water to you, and the building where they sell it, I will show you in a second. Here, maybe let's just take another frame like this. Oh, isn't this amazing? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So yes, this villa here, idyllic, yes, exactly. This villa here is one of the most beautiful ones. The trees are also gorgeous, yes. Yeah, so I think this will also answer Mandy's questions. Mandy's questions about my mom and what she, like how this helps her. I don't know, like I already feel better after being here for a whole day. is just, good for your mental health, good for your spiritual health, which kind of pays the toll on everything else. Yes. So honestly, sometimes it might be really just that. However, again, I want to say that my mom always praises all these treatments that she gets. Yes. All these buildings will be from late 1800s, most often rebuilt in early 1900s. This one I just adore. Again, the same type of beautiful woodwork, and you can see, I look at this window and someone is sitting there behind this beautiful white curtain. Probably looks like someone actually lives there, but I don't know. This building that you're looking at, this is the main, I found the English word should be pump room. This is where they pump the natural water for you. This is a building original from 1860s, but reconstructed at the beginning of the 20th century. You can see people entering. They already have bottles in their hands. They are going to buy mineral water because there are only 2 fountains which are free. We saw one of them together. The rest you have to pay for. The building is beautiful. Inside there is like zero signal, but here is my picture from this inside this very building that you're looking at right now. And this is their ceiling. Beautiful, right? And how it works is that here, when you enter, there is this counter, and behind the counter you can see these silver things. They are sinks. So, and you can choose which water you want, and you pay, I think, like around 2 Polish zloty now, and you get a cup of this water. You are supposed to drink it 1 hour before the meal, and you are supposed to drink it slowly. This is very important, to drink it slowly. Okay, let's hide the guy with the belly. Maybe here, especially for the Beata who can speak Polish, you can see the old banner which says the mineral water pump room, the Queen of Polish Waters. Królowa Polskich Wód, pijalnia wód mineralnych, Królowa Polskich Wód, the Queen of Polish Waters. Two things I want to show you about the culture of health resorts. First of all, if you have been touring with me already, you can imagine that since this is a place for elderly people, it must be full of churches and chapels. So really, there is a park here. There are all kinds of different chapels around here, stations of the cross, monuments of saints, and everything like that. So, of course, I have nothing against elderly people. I'm just saying that culturally, in Poland, all elderly people will be very, very devoted Christians, devoted Catholics. So there is all this infrastructure for them to pray. Mandy, yes, well, sounds legitimate to me, definitely. I would stamp your prescription if I only could do this. And you were asking about mountainous area. It is mountainous. Unfortunately, because of the signal, at the beginning I was able to show you the mountains from here. But if you Google the name of this town, you will see it's beautiful mountains. So on one hand, a lot of chapels. Here there is one of them. Nice construction from early 20th century. So lots of chapels in the whole town, lots of parks, because between the breakfast, the dinner, you actually want to walk around, of course, exercise and all of that. So there is all these beautiful parks. This guy with the horse, he was saying that he takes people on the horse around here. This would be something nice to do. Statues that you can contemplate, but here you can see a statue of a person playing a flute. So the cultural life is the second thing about the health resort in Poland. And here you can see a concert space. So classic for Polish health resorts. In every health resort in Poland, there will be concert space, which is this place, like a stage. And then you can see here, there is space for the audience. So in the evenings, they actually have most often you have to pay for taking part in this, but not always. It depends. So here there can be a choir singing or some orchestra. And if you have had your walk and you've had your supper, which in the health resort, they serve supper, I think like 5:30, and this is the last meal that they serve. Then you can go out and you meet people and you talk to people and you enjoy a concert or some theater or whatever other cultural event. So meeting of people is another thing. And I want to finish with the most monumental building around here, which is the inhalatorium. I'm sorry, it's gotten very windy. Inhalatorium, so the place where they do treatments for the respiratory system. For example, you inhale brine. Yes, this is something simple. It would be one of those treatments that the state provides for you. Inhaling brine, inhaling different of the waters from the natural fountains here. Inhalatorium, which also here they have like 29 rooms. And here you can see someone is drying their laundry. Very European as well. 29 hotel rooms for the people to stay at. And with this beautiful modernist building from 1936, we are going to finish our tour. It's even nice that the car is parked here. The car says Szczawnica Health Resort 1811. 1811, this is when this place was established. And it is operating up until today. It is a real live health resort. So thank you to everyone for joining me here. It was a real pleasure. I was very stressed about this here, but I don't know, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Yes. So thank you very much. If you have any other questions, I am free here to answer, of course. Poppy, thank you for following me. If you are not following me yet, please follow. I am only getting started here, I think. I have more and more ideas where I should be taking you. And there are just so many beautiful places in Poland. I am so happy to have done this. I think really this is a very big insight to Polish culture and our life in Poland.